In this respect, the task of forensic are suspicion of violence against women and children, identification of statements, gathering of evidence, crisis intervention, and directing the necessary actions. As a new area of expertise, forensic in obstetrics and gynecology serves as a bridge to closing the gap between law and medicine. The need for a forensic midwife is establishing the link between civil servants, lawyers, the law, and the health. Before starting the session, we would like to make few announcements. Please mute yourself during the session. Avoid potentially offensive backgrounds. Limit video distractions. Post your queries in chat box. It will be answered at the end of session by the esteemed resource person. As we said to start our day, it is rightly said, prayer is not asking, it is a longing for the soul. Before we commence the session, it is the time to connect our spirits with the higher power to seek blessings, guidance, and wisdom. Let's seek the blessings of Goddess Saraswati to bring ourselves to a calm and peaceful state to focus on the tranquility within us.
कल्पयतु विश्वासम कुरु साध्यतु, कल्पना करो, विश्वास करो, हासिल करो. So imagine, believe, and achieve. So good morning, one and all, respected Dr. Lata Venkatesan ma'am, Dr. Subhashini ma'am, Dean in Nursing, Vice Principal ma'am, Dr. Jesleen, and my professor, faculty members, colleagues, and my dear students. So today, it's my great pleasure to welcome to our event today. We have the privilege of hosting Professor Dr. Lata Venkatesan ma'am, who is leading one of the most prestigious institutions, and as a professor cum principal, Madam is heading the institution at AIIMS College of Nursing, New Delhi. Madam is a renowned leader, remarkable individual in the field of obstetric and gynecology nursing. Her achievement and dedication to her work serve as inspiration to all of us. Ma'am has significantly contributed to the community and society. From wholeheartedly on behalf of Tirthankar Mahavir College of Nursing and Tirthankar Mahavir University, I thank you, ma'am, for graciously accepting our invitations in spite of her very busy schedule. So, ma'am, your presence is greatly appreciated, and we are honored to have you today. And ma'am will provide valuable perspectives and insights on this important aspect of forensic in obstetric and gynecology nursing. So, I encourage everyone to actively engage and listen attentively. So today, undoubtedly, that will be a valuable learning experience for all of us. And please join me in welcoming with a huge round of applause to our Madam, Dr. Lata Venkatesan. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Poonam, for the invitation. And I'm extremely delighted to address the audience, and congratulations for organizing a lecture on such an important topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So, forensics in obstetrics and gynecology, it refers to the application of forensic medicine principles and practices in the context of women's reproductive health. It involves the intersection of medical knowledge with legal and investigative processes to address issues related to pregnancy, childbirth, and gynecological conditions. Now let us see the specific situations in obstetric and gynecological nursing where forensic nursing can be practiced. So, sexual assault and forensic gynecology is one of the area we need to explore. The gynecology nurses play a very crucial role when we have to examine the candidates who were subjected to sexual assault. This will include collecting the physical evidence, conducting thorough examination of the victim, and providing expert testimony if required in the court when there are legal proceedings. And what evidence will you collect? You have to collect such as DNA samples, which are essential in cases of sexual assault to support the investigations for legal actions. So we should learn how to collect these DNA samples from the area where the sexual assault has happened or when the victim is reporting to the casualty. And there are sexual assault evidence collection kits are there. This is that also you can explore what are all the content, and the procedure has to be learned by nurses so that we are able to collect the evidences in case when sexual assault victims are reporting to us. And maternal fetal medicine and legal implications are also there. Sometimes birth related injuries might happen, when they apply forceps, damage to the head may happen. One of my own classmates suffered from this. She had a forceps delivery and they applied too much of pressure on the head of the baby, and later on the child developed increased intracranial pressure and a lot of accumulation of fluid inside the head, and they have to do a VP shunt to drain the fluid. And even the child is around 25 years old now. Even today he is not normal and has created a lot of difficulties for the parents. So such a small procedure, when they apply too much of pressure, see how the damage has happened and the child is suffering for lifetime. Similarly, the baby may slip from the hand when they are delivering, and baby may fall down and sustain injuries. When they do cesarean section, injuries might happen. So sometimes it may not be done intentionally, but accidentally also it might happen. So as nurses, when we are assisting for deliveries or while conducting deliveries, we are accountable for birth related injuries, and we may have to either report or give testimony in such cases. So we have to see that the mother or the baby is not harmed, and in case if they are harmed, then the evidences may have to be showcased if required. And medical malpractice and negligence. So this also can happen. And forensic experts will analyze the medical records to determine if there was any deviation from the standard of care which could lead to legal actions for medical malpractice. And nurses may be asked to provide expert opinion on whether a medical professional's actions met the acceptable standards in a given situation. So documentation is very, very essential. When we conduct delivery or when we attend a mother, the vital parameters of the mother and the fetus, newborn, everything has to be documented properly, and the steps of the procedure should be documented so that when the records and documents are taken to the court for review, then it will be supporting us. We have to be careful with documentation of whatever we do for the patients. Otherwise, we will not be able to support even if we would have delivered good standard of care. It should be documented so that we will get protected from medical malpractice and negligence. And this is not only applicable to OBG nursing, it is applicable to any given profession. And forensic gynecological examinations have to be done at time. That it might be postmortem examination. Forensic nurses who are working in the forensic department will be helping for postmortem, and we have to determine the cause of death and help in the gynecological examinations. And if you look at forensic pathology, collection of specimens for examination of reproductive tissues, organs, and fluids may be conducted to gather evidence for legal and investigative purposes. Child custody and parental rights. Evaluation of parental fitness is required. Gynecologists may be involved in assessing the reproductive health and fitness of parents in cases of child custody, especially when they go for divorce. So child custody, both parents may be claiming, and sometimes we may have to assess their mental health as well as their physical health to assess who will be deemed fit to take care of the child. Congratulations for joining TMU University.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me.
And it's a really innovative and advanced that the nursing profession is coming up with more diversification, and each specialty, even law and forensic nursing, has been a vital role now. So thank you very much for sharing your knowledge, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I have one question. If forensic nursing it is there in all the areas legal terms, is there any separate license for this? As only RNRM is enough, or separate license for this we have to make it?
I think RNRM is enough. We were doing this forensic work without our knowledge. For example, we receive medico legal cases. and we document everything. So it is part of forensic nursing, no? The victim might be damaged, they may not die, but they may not, they may be suffering injuries, and we have to report the injuries. And many a times the prisoners are brought to the hospital, no, arrested victims are brought to the hospital. Then we also have brought dead patients. The patients die at home. Suicide attempts are being brought to the hospital. I think without naming it ourselves as forensic nurses, I think we were practicing forensic nursing. That is my opinion. It is not necessary that to be a forensic nurse, we have to be attached to a forensic department, which are usually present only in government medical colleges. And private medical colleges also have forensic department for educational purposes, but postmortem and all they cannot do. Legally, they are not doing it. So I feel that even initially when Indian Nursing Council introduced the syllabus forensic nursing, I thought, what is the scope of it? Forensic nursing is practiced only in government hospitals which are authorized to conduct the postmortem. Like that only I was also having the opinion. But when I have gone through the content and when we hosted a workshop here on forensic nursing, I understood that all these years we were functioning as forensic nurses.